This man had been asleep for 500 years. When he woke up, the world was a mess. Collapsed buildings were tied together with ropes. Broken bridges were left unrepaired. He asked some people what had happened. A few of them, acting like fools, suddenly attacked him. He was thirsty and tried to get some water, but only soda came out of the pipes. He picked up a nearby newspaper and realized it was the year 20. He decided to go to the hospital for a checkup. On the way, he was suddenly stopped by the police. Because he didn't have an identification barcode on his hand, he was arrested. The police locked him in a cage and took him to court. The foolish judge immediately declared him guilty of a serious crime. The audience cheered loudly, celebrating that he had become a criminal. No one was willing to listen to his explanation. The prison guard locked a collar around his neck and brought him into a building. Before entering prison, everyone had to take an IQ test. One of the questions was, if one bucket holds 2 gallons of water and another holds 5, how many buckets do you have?
2?
The question was so simple it didn't even require thinking. But in the future, people had all become idiots. He was the only one who got it right. They immediately took him to the president's office. The president was shocked by how smart he was and instantly made him Secretary of the Interior. He asked him to solve the problem of crops not growing. To avoid going to jail, he had no choice but to accept. When he arrived at the farmland, the irrigation machines turned on. But they were filled with soda. People believed soda was the cleanest liquid, and water was only good for flushing toilets. Because of that, the land was damaged, and crops couldn't grow. He held up both soda and water and asked the soil which one it wanted to drink. The trick worked. The president was convinced, and immediately ordered the land to be irrigated with water. But after a month, the crops still hadn't grown. One morning, tens of thousands of people surrounded his house. They were soda company employees. Because of his advice, soda sales had dropped, and many of them had lost their jobs. To punish him, the president sent him to the arena. He had to face off against 2 armored vehicles alone. At the most critical moment, footage of crops growing suddenly appeared on the screen. Everyone was shocked. The president immediately pardoned him and made him the new president. Do you think he's smart?